Today's Picmonic covers Psoas syndrome, as shown by the Sewn-Ass taking travelers down the Grand Canyon. Psoas syndrome develops from a hypertonic psoas muscle most commonly due to prolonged sitting. These patients typically end up developing pelvic dysfunctions with difficulty standing upright, such as sacral torsion, with the sacral axis on the same side as the psoas spasm. In addition, patients will develop low back pain and type 2 somatic dysfunctions at L1 or L2, with side bending and rotation on the same side of the hypertonic muscle. Over time, they can even develop pelvic pain with a pelvic side shift to the opposite side. On a physical exam, patients will have restricted hip extension with their pain alleviated in flexion. They may even develop a tender point 1 centimeter medial to the ASIS, as shown by the tenderizer point and 1 cent from the super island bum on spine above. Lastly, Thomas the Train Engine reminds us of the commonly tested Thomas test that is used when a practitioner flexes one side of the patient's hip, resulting in contralateral hip flexion as well. The key point to remember in Psoas syndrome is to treat the lumbar spinal somatic dysfunction with our pal, Sumo Tick, and reestablish that lumbar lordotic curvature. After treating the low back, you can also apply counterstrain or muscle energy to the psoas, represented by the counter with the strainer and the muscle man respectively. Finally, HVLA, easily remembered with the LA highway, can be used in conjugation to free the surrounding somatic dysfunctions. In summary, Psoas syndrome is due to a hypertonic psoas muscle from prolonged sitting that can elicit back pain, pelvic pain, restriction with hip extension, and difficulty with standing upright. Patients may have a positive Thomas test and point tenderness just 1 centimeter medial to the ASIS. Treatment focuses on freeing the type 2 somatic dysfunction as well as applying counterstrain, muscle energy, and HVLA to the adjacent structures.
This Sewn-Ass has been guiding adventurers down the Grand Canyon for years. So much so, he had to have his ass sewn back on after falling off. However, the ride is long and arduous. All the prolonged sitting causes problems for his riders, and their pelvises started dysfunctioning. It all started with lower back pain, so the rider got off the ass. However, he couldn't seem to stand up straight. His pelvis just hurt too bad. So the crew tried to diagnose what the problem could be. They tried to extend his hip by pulling back his heel with an extension cord, but it felt like it was restricted by a belt. He felt like someone was stabbing him with a tenderizer point, just 1 cent away from his tattoo of a super island bum. That's when Thomas the Train came chugging around the bend with some positive news.
For the rest of the story, check out Picmonic.com and sign up for a free account. There, you can also take Picmonic's quiz. The quiz automatically sets up your daily quiz by using spaced repetition algorithms based on the questions you've missed or struggled with to make sure you study what you need when you need to.
And while you're there, check out the rest of our body regions Picmonics. We've got all the content you'll need to remember. Everything from cranial motion and structural exam, Cranial 2, strain patterns, Sacrum motion and structural exam, Sacrum 2, somatic dysfunctions of the sacrum, innominates, and so much more, so you can lock down on everything you need to know forever.
Play, quiz, and spaced repetition. Efficient, effective, and research proven to increase exam scores.